you some flavor and stories and everything. Welcome to Monster Hunter Mondays. How's everybody doing tonight? I hope you are doing extremely well. I'm gonna just give y'all a few minutes to get relaxed, sit back, and get your chips and drinks, everything you need, because we about to have some fun story time. Let me tell you, this title is nothing to play with. I say what I mean, and I mean what I say when I say be nice at bars in the movie theater. And you'll understand in a short moment. Now, what I will say is that, during the whole COVID quarantine, I'm proud of everybody that's been staying home or covering up with masks, just doing everything that needs to be done. Now, with some businesses, such as, movie theaters, some of them are opening back up and saying, we're going to stage 3, which is the stage where, businesses can start working again. And so all I will say is, be safe. There is no rush. Hey, Hikaru. No. But I can say there was about to be. But, no. But yeah, definitely, just be safe. I just got called back to work Wednesday. Not sure what's going on. I haven't had any update, but I know I'll probably be heading back. It's not gonna be too much. I do work. You'll get it when I tell you the story, because it's dealing with where I work. But I'm not gonna tell you all the juiciness of things you need to know. Just you get to experience the story as I tell you. So with that, ooh, it updated. Oh yeah, that's right. I remember the new monster. Well, it's not really new, but it's out there. Also, if you haven't seen, honestly, I'm not disappointed, but they are making a Monster Hunter movie. Coming out next year around December. It's starring Mila Jovovich, and you see other actors like T.I. Yeah, the Fatales is here. But yeah, that I want to say it was like a 20-second trailer. It was okay for the good part, but I mean, it's a lot of mixed match elements. I'm not an avid Monster Hunter player like that, but yeah, they've been working on it for a long minute, and I guess they finally finished editing and splicing the scenes, sounds, all that, and they said next year is the year where it comes out. But yeah. So first, let us load this game. I don't know why I leave it on beginners, but I think I like helping other people out when they come to play. But yeah, I'm also going to try to because if I do end up going back to work, I know I'm going to be very limited on stream times. So maybe on Mondays I have it pre-recorded with me telling a story, and that'll be better. But I know I'll definitely still try to work out streams on Fridays, because I definitely want to spend more time talking to people like you, and giving that first-hand feeling. So I'll do my best with the pre-recordings and everything, but it takes time. What kind of quest should I do? Should I just do a regular, or should I just... Oh yeah, they gave me another mission, that's right. Woo. Y'all gotta excuse me, it's been a while since I played this, but after playing Genshin Impact so much, my button configuration skills is like weird. Cause the way they got you playing Genshin Impact is like you're playing on the Switch, and it's cool, but I was like, let me configure it, cause I'm playing on an Xbox One controller, but they don't let you do that. Let's see. Oh, the events. They updated. You know, I'm gonna go with the event. We're gonna do the USJ Gold Star treatment, because I definitely can't do anything else yet. They know me so well. Alright, we'll do that. I know, like, I'm excited every time I level up on Monster Hunter. I know I shouldn't be, but I am. Ooh, let's see, cultivate. No, not yet. Collect, harvest. Take all. Yes. Fertilize. For some. Cultivate. I'm gonna drop some honey. If I could find some honey. No. Oh yeah, there we go. There we go. I dropped the honey. Yes. Okay, I shouldn't be happy that I dropped the honey. But am I loud enough or clear enough for you to hear? I love those cats. Those cats are everything. Alright. Thank you for that. Alright. Let's get this thing started. I know. So, the topic that I'm going to tell a story about, which is being nice at a bar, at a movie theater. I literally mean it. Be nice at a bar at a movie theater. Because I'm going to just let you know, I'm a bartender. I bartend at movie theaters. Why? Because it's something I wanted to do. Recreational, good times. And I like making mixed drinks. I like having people feel good. Uh, distressify after, a long day. Even though really alcohol is a depressant, not really a stimulant or something to, help you relax. But, it just helps. Well, for some people, it shouldn't really. Oh, that's a tiny Jagras. But, pretty much, there was this one time I was working at the bar, and it was at my movie theater. Yes, and I said movie theater because I do bartend at a movie theater. Just because it's a movie theater doesn't mean it's a bad place to bartend. But I was bartending at a movie theater. It was, Friday or Saturday. But it wasn't bad. People were nice and everything. It was just a good day. But you get the negative people that just come and mess with you for no reason. But I had a good time at the bar. But it was about 5 or 7 o'clock when I had one customer come in, and he came in with his family. It was his wife, his father, and himself. And they came to see a movie, and I'm like, okay, not paying any mind. Oh, that's a giant one. But I'm not paying any mind because you know what? I'm being the best bartender to provide service. So I'm not thinking as much. That is big. But okay, back to the story, because I'm over here flabbergasted by how big these Jagras is. These Jagras Marleys. But, so they came to the line, right? And, the wife was like, I'm going to go grab my seat because, the movie is about to start. And I'm not paying it no mind because I'm like, okay. Like, she's going to be fine with that. And so the husband and the father is staying inside. And mind you, they look like they're about, what? The father looked like he was in his 70s. The husband looked like he was in his late 20s, early 30s. And the wife was the same as the husband, late 20s, early 30s. But what killed me was, how things went down. Because, you never expect things to get any type of bad when you're just working. So I'm doing my job, shaking my shaker, and, getting the drinks out and ready. And they come to the line. And I'm like, okay, how y'all doing? My name is so-and-so. Can I help you? Like, can I get you something to drink? And they're like, yeah. We want, this on tap, and we want this, and I'm like, yeah, okay, I could do that for you. And as soon as I said that, keynote for any bartender, please remember to ask for IDs, because it's a part of protocol. It's not like we do it because we want to be petty. That's just a part of our job. That is a part of our job to ask for your ID, so you can't get mad when we're trying to do our job. So I asked for the husband's IDs first because he's ordering his drink, and it's like, okay. Oh, that was a fast quest. But I pretty much asked the husband, can I see your ID? He had no problem, showed me his ID and everything. I was like, cool. So I started making his drink, and the father asked for the drink. And I was like, oh, okay. What would you like? He told me what he wanted. I was like, cool, cool. Now, before I get started, are y'all paying together or separate? And he was like, I'll pay for his. I was like, okay, that's fine. But can I see your ID as well? And the father looked at me with like this grossed out look, like I insulted his error or something. And he was like, excuse me? And I'm like, no, I said what I said. Can I see your ID? And he's like, but I'm old enough to be your father. First of all, if you're old enough to be somebody's father that works somewhere, don't tell it to them, because it's not going to get you any bonus points. It's not, especially after they ask for your ID. Do not tell them that, because then it's going to make it worse for you, and you're going to be mad because you feel like they're taking it out on you, and they're not. You're just trying to get an easy, breezy go by. It doesn't work like that. Be responsible. So, yeah, he was getting a little upset, and I was like, I'm sorry, it's just protocol. I wish I could, not ask for your ID, because I know you look old enough. And the rule of thumb is to ask for your ID regardless. There is an age capacity for that, but I'm not going to get into the details for that, because it's only when you become a bartender where you have to really learn and take responsibility. But take responsibility for any age, because you never know. That's just like somebody going to the grocery store for a pack of cigarettes. A lot of people just sell it, but they don't know who they're selling it to because they don't check their IDs. And like this woman at another job that I used to work at, like she always told me, it doesn't matter how old you are. You could be old enough to be my grandchild, or you could be old enough to be my daughter. You could even be old enough to be my mother. I am still going to ask for your ID, because that is the job and that is what we're required to do. Oh yeah, it was a whole... Well, no, he wasn't a reverse Benjamin Button. But so the father was like, you know what? Fine. Like, he just flipped his hand at me and just walked away to go to the theater. And I was like, okay, like, I'm not really bothered by it. But I guess you are. So I looked at the son. The son looked at me like he was pissed. And I was like, do you still want your drink? And he was like, yeah, no. Can you give me that drink too? And I said, no, I can't do that. Because at this point, I know you're buying it for him. And that's another rule of thumb. Don't let people buy somebody else's drinks once you done verified they don't have their ID. Because it's the honest truth. Because then you don't know. It's not saying you don't know. I know the guy was old enough to be a grandfather. But when it comes to your job, respect the job. If you don't have your ID, you don't have your ID. You don't get the drink. That's just like if you don't have money to go and get what you want to get from the grocery store. If you don't have it, what you going to do? Cause hell inside of a grocery store and say, give me my food, I'll pay for it? No. Go home, get your money, and then come back to the store and pay for it. Have a attendant hold your food for you and say you'll be back with the money. Don't raise hell because you don't have it on you. But to keep going, the son tried to say that I could sell him the drink because he was buying it for his father. I said, I can sell you the drink, but because he did not show his ID, I cannot sell it to you. And he started going off on me. And so he was like, okay, well, can I get a different drink? And I was like, yes. Is it for someone else? Because it's a one drink per carry policy. And it doesn't mean you get to carry both drinks for the person. The other person has to come and show their ID, and I have to deliver it to them. I can't just give you two drinks. Because, movie theaters do have rules. It is a one drink per carry limit. And pretty much it's like keeping watch of who's drinking and how much they're drinking. And it's for the safety of the public. And he got snazzy with me. He's like, it's for my wife. And I'm like, okay, I understand it's for your wife, but she would have to come out and get her drink. You could pay for it, but she would have to come and get it. And so he's getting all huffy and puffy. And she comes out and she's like, what's taking so long? And he's holding up my line at the same time too. And he's like, this guy won't sell my dad a drink. And he's like such and such years old. He's a cancer survivor. No, he's not a cancer survivor. He still got cancer. And da da da. And I'm like, do you ever have that awkward feeling where you're just standing there and somebody's yelling at you, and it's not like you don't care, but you're just looking at them like, what was the point of this? Because that's exactly what I did when I looked at him. I was literally looking at him like, what is the point of even arguing with me? Like, why can't you just get your drink and go on about your business? Because you're stopping my business. But, it kind of dragged on. The wife was going to try to calm him down. And he's over here trying to cuss me out. And she was like, okay, what's the problem? And I said, thank you for, asking me. Yeah, I remember that story. But she said, what's the problem? And I said, thank you for asking. But the issue is your husband is trying to buy a drink for, your father, your grandfather. And I get that he is old enough, but I asked for ID, and I have a sign on the table that says, please present your ID before purchasing a drink. And, your grandfather didn't have an ID, and yes, he does look old enough. Yes, there's a legal law that says anything. But when it comes to a business, if that business practice asks you to show your ID, you can't say nothing about it. Even if you do look old enough to buy a drink, you still have to follow the business practice. If you don't follow the business practice, you don't get served. But she understood very well, and she was like, there's nothing we can do. We can't buy him a drink. And the husband was getting mad and irate at me. And he's like, call your manager. Da, da, da. And I'm like, okay, I'm going to call her. But, give me a moment. And so I'm about to call. And he's like, so why can't I buy a drink? And I'm like, sir, you could buy a drink. But, hey, hello, Rennie, 8903. And I'm like, sir, you could buy a drink. It's not a problem. But you can't buy a drink for someone else when they don't have their ID. Like, it's not how it works. And he's like, oh, I should be able to buy a drink for who I want. And I'm like, the problem is you can. But you can't because they don't have proper ID to, take it. And so he got upset and he was like, well, what if I bought another drink? And I was like, yeah, you could buy another drink when you finish your drink and then you come back and, purchase it. And he was like, oh, thank you, problem solved. And he walked off. And I was like, oh, okay. That was weird. So he leaves, the wife leaves, the grandpa is gone. I'm getting like 2 or 3 customers out and 2 or 3 minutes passed. The guy comes back with a big smile on his face. He was like, I finished my drink. I'm ready to get another one. I said, sir, that's not how it works. And he was like, what? But you just told me. And I was like, yeah, I did tell you that you could finish your drink and you can come back and get another one. But it's a weight limit to that too. Like, we're not allowed to sell you another drink for about 15 to 30 minutes because we're supposed to be timing you on your drinks too. And that's what a lot of people don't know about movie theaters. We can't just sell you alcoholic beverage back to back. Even if you want to get around it by having somebody else give you a drink, we still keep tabs and, check on how long it has been before somebody else has gotten a drink. And we just tell people, it's a 30-minute wait because you have to let it, rush down. And it also gives people time to watch the movie and, let the alcohol sink in. But, he came back and he was like big mad. Yeah, he really thought he was slick. And, he just came back, and as soon as I said that, he got big mad. And he was like, you know what, I'm done talking to you. And I'm like, okay, I wasn't talking. He was like, call your manager right now, because this ain't right. Can't get another drink, and then I can't get my father a drink. And I'm like, but it's not my fault if I'm doing my job. And so I called my manager on duty. And I love this manager on duty because she keeps it real. Like, if I tell her what I tell her and I know I'm right and she know I'm right, she's not going to change her mind for anything. And so I told her that she needs to, hurry up as fast as she can. Like, not trying to rush her, but I had to. Because he was over here pacing, huffing and puffing. And I was like, it's not really worth it. But she came. She came as soon as she saw, because she heard him huffing and puffing and yelling. And she asked me what's wrong. And before she talked to him, I told her everything that went down, from the fact that he wanted to pay for his father or grandfather's drink, and the grandfather didn't have ID, and I asked for the ID doing my part of the job. And she understood that immediately, because she knows if you don't have your ID, you don't get served, and that's what it says. And so I told her everything, from even how he got mad, and then he tried to leave and come back and say that he drunk his drink and thought he could get another one. And she said, oh no, that's not happening. Like, I'm feeling to shut this down right now. So after she talks with me about it, she looks at him, and I'm right behind the bar with her as she's looking at him. But she looks at him and she's like, sir, how can I help you? And he's like, this man is not giving me what I need. And I'm like, oh, I don't have to, but okay. But I'm saying this in my mind as he's yelling. I'm not that disrespectful, y'all. But, yeah, he's like, he's not giving me what I need. I came here with my grandfather or my father. I can't remember which one it was, but I know the guy was pretty elder. But he was like, I came here with my father or grandfather, and all I asked for was a drink, and he wanted a drink too. And then he had the nerve to deny my father, even though he was old enough and well enough to get a drink. And he has cancer and da-da-da-da. And I'm like, yeah, I exactly told her everything you said. Like, I'm not going to lie and say you said something different. And so she looked at him and she was like, I'm sorry, but, the rules are rules. There is nothing we can do for you. And he's like, what do you mean? And she's just telling him, like, I understand that you're upset, but we can't sell you no drink. Not for him, because one, I can't let everybody slide if he doesn't have an ID and you do, Because then everybody is going to want to ask to not show their ID when getting a drink. Hey, Desaga. And secondly, it's not even the fact that, he's old enough to drink. Our policy says you have to present an ID if the bartender asks. And he was like, yeah, but the state law also says that you don't have to check ID if they look old enough. And she's like, yeah, but our practice says we have to check the ID. So it's whatever our business says, not what the state law says, because we are responsible with the state law, but it's not about it. It's not about the state law. And like, he looked like he was ready to have a cow when she said that, because it was not something that it was not something he wanted to hear. Like, he was just done. And at this point the wife was wondering why he had, and like, she was even trying to come outside to figure it out. And when she came out, I felt bad because she was looking at him like, oh my God, what are you doing? And now she had to calm him down. I felt bad for the wife. I was like, nobody should have to do that. Like, be responsible. I'm not going to tell, you in general to be responsible, because everybody has something that they got to do. But what you can't do is be mad at the bartender for doing their job. And so he's over here going back and forth, huffing and puffing. And he's like, well, can I get a refund? I was like, I never even sold you the drink. Like, you didn't even get a drink. And she was like, sir, if he didn't sell it to you, then he has no right to even continue if you're going to act this way. And if you're going to be this way, I could call the shot right now and shut down the whole bar. And she was like, you know what? That's what I'm going to do. And she told me to shut the bar down. And she was like, the wife was like, oh, no, you don't have to do that. I'm so sorry. And he was like, I'm not. You better keep this bar open. Like, I need to get my drink. And she was like, sir, I don't have any obligations to sell anything to you. Especially if you're going to be rude like that. Yes, he was out of options. He wanted to run the refund. He wanted to call the shots until he was heard. And you are heard. But action speaks louder than words. And his action was like he was ready to fight somebody. And it wasn't worth it. And at one point, I saw his mouth curl up like he was going to spit. I was not having it. And my boss looked at me and I looked at her, and we were both on the same page. But it's crazy how people can act, especially when they're desperate for something that they don't really need. They just want it. And the thing is, all he had to do was buy his drink and go about his way. But he was like, he has the right to buy his father or grandfather a drink. And that's not a problem. You can. But be responsible about it. And that's one thing that he didn't want to do. And so, yay, I did it. I'm sorry. But, it was like after that, he was still huffing and puffing and yelling, and I was like, I'm just so done. Like, this guy, he's refusing to leave the bar because he wants another drink, and then he wants to buy his father a drink, and we've already told him no. It's like, we don't do that. So, moving the story along, we got him to, calm down. Hey, man. But you're a mess. I only drink the finest gamer girl. You better stop. You gonna have me making a drink called the gamer girl. Cut it out. But yeah, you know, like he was thinking that he was all big. He was gonna run game. He was gonna get whatever drink that he could, and I was like, yeah, yeah, that's all he had to do. That's all he had to do. Like, he could have just let the wife get a drink. The wife could have ordered for, you know, the dad in secret. I wouldn't have known. But he didn't even ew, not gamer girl bathwater. No. I it's gotta be a refined name for that. But that's one thing that we don't want to happen too, and that's people ordering in secret for someone else. Because it happens. You got people that order for teenagers, and then the business gets in trouble for all of that. And so that's why we ask for ID, we check, we run through everybody, no matter who, what, where, when, and why, or how. We ask, period. So he huffed and puffed. And he was like, you know what, fine, I'm going to the movie. Can I at least get my drink? And we said, no, you already had a drink. It hasn't even passed 30 minutes. And she said, sir, if it hasn't passed 30 minutes, then you have to wait. And she was like, matter of fact, as of now, everybody, you see him, and she literally put him on blast. I felt bad for him because she did put him on blast. She called everybody that worked the front line at the movie theater, because the bar is not that far from the front desk. But she said, everybody, if you see this guy, do not sell him anything. Or do not even vouch for him at the bar. You can sell him food or snacks, but he is not allowed to come back to the bar. And he huffed and puffed, and he was like, I'm going to write a review on Google, and you're not going to see any more business from me in this bar. And it's like, okay. Like, I'm not bothered by it. And so after that, I was kind of a little mad myself because, you know, I don't like customers that do too much when it comes to getting a drink. I want to talk and have a conversation with you before you enjoy your movie and go about your way. But if you're going to be that difficult over some liquor, wine, or beer, you don't need to go out. You need to buy your beer cans and stay at home with your drink. Because that type of attitude is just wrong. And I tell this to every customer. I apologize, you know, if I ask for your ID, but it is what it is. And it really happens. But it's our protocol. And because we are in a public business that's not private, like, you know, going to a nightclub or, you know, a fancy diner that has, you know, a top level bar area that does private taste testing and stuff like that, those are more private, where, you know, once you show your ID or they know you get your drink and you're good to go. But in public spaces like the movie theater or somewhere that has access to everybody going, don't get mad at that. Everybody has access to coming to the movie theater, and you think we shouldn't have to ID everyone when we got like teenagers and kids also going to the movie theaters? And not saying that they would, but you got some teenagers that would try it. You do. But it happens. It really does. And I tell that to people all the time. Don't treat a movie theater bar like the club bar because it's a bar. And that's true. People don't look their age anymore like that. They don't. Um, and that's not even the principle. The principle is, it's a life lesson. Just have your ID everywhere you go, because you never know when you might need it, and you have to identify it. You remind me of when Applebee's was going to serve me some alcohol drinks one time. Oh Lord, yeah. Yeah, it's true. This is why we can't have nice things, because people get stuck in their ways and they really just get egotistical over something simple. And that's good. I'm glad you told her at that age, because liquor license for businesses is hard to get and very easy to lose. Like, one slip up that hard and it's a wrap. And that's what people don't understand for all these public businesses that start serving alcohol. We have to be on guard, because it's a very easy thing to lose. And being a bartender, if you mess up, your whole bartending license goes. It's just like being... I'm not even going to compare it to being a doctor, but it's on the level of being a doctor's with license. If you do something wrong and you get caught, you lose your license to serve, period. Like, you don't get another chance to serve the people. Yes, you could do it in the confines of your own home, but you don't get to serve and make money to the public. That's just like a doctor. If a doctor messes up on your surgery and they don't have nothing to say, do you expect them to come to work the next day? No, you expect to sue them. You expect them to lose their license. And you expect them to not be able to practice in doctor anymore. And that goes the same with bartending. If a bartender sells your kid something and you there and you witness it, what you want them to do? Keep their job because they made a little mistake? No. You want them gone. And unfortunately, that shuts down the business for where you did it at. You're not just going to cover it up. But that's why I tell people... That's why I tell people be nice to, bartenders, because it's just not fair to them. It really ain't. Like, they could do so much for you, but you gotta be responsible on your end too. Hey, and that's a good thing. I'm glad I get asked for ID. I do get a little upset when I don't get asked for ID, but I have not been in a punch bowl. I do get a little bit upset that I don't get asked for ID, and I know that's like a huge contradiction to people, and they're like, "Why are you upset that you don't get asked for ID?" It's like, it's not the fact that I want people to know how old I am. I want people to be responsible for their actions. And you know what? Yes, I will ramble. I will ramble because it is a important topic. It's not that sensitive. It's very important. But seriously, don't be a a-hole at a bartender because you don't have your responsibilities in check. Be nice at a bar, in a movie theater, because we're just doing the same thing everybody else does with their 9 to 5. We make our money and we go on about our ways. Yes, we can be your therapist with a little bit of swig to drink. But we're only doing that for your comfort and for our comfort and sanity. It's not a problem. We like to have fun with people that want to drink, but we want you to be responsible for your actions too. You just can't come to the bar drunk and then expect the bartender to give you another drink. No, we're going to be concerned. If we're going to be concerned for our own people when we drink, we're definitely going to be concerned for the public. Y'all being messy. But yep, that's the story of the time I got flipped out at a bar. And that's why I advise people, when you go to a bar, no matter where it is, but mostly in a movie theater, in a public space, be nice, be respectful, and be responsible for all of your actions. If you leave your ID, eat it. Eat whatever you're about to say. Take that pride, shove it back down your throat, and say, I'm sorry. I'll try again next time when I do have my ID. If your ID is in the car, just go out to the car and get your ID. It's not that hard. Sister Sippy? Don't call me that. But but it's the truth. Like, it's all so simple. If you're not responsible with your own identification, then just go sit down and enjoy the movie. I understand if you're with your kids and you say you want something to drink, that's fine. If you don't have your ID, you're going to have to eat that with a grain of salt and a lot of yelling from your kids until you get your ID. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. I'm not going to tell you, yes, you could get this alcoholic beverage. No. Sit down. Take a chill pill. You didn't need it in the first place. You want it, but you didn't need it. And that's not wrong to want a buzz in a lifetime. But if you're not going to be responsible, especially, knowing how much you drink in a public space, I think it's safer for you to not even do it at all. Sit down and enjoy the movie with your family or your friends. Even if you go to the movies and you want to drink, it's nothing stopping you but an ID. But if you can't get a drink, then have fun. Get a slushie, get a soda, even though we're not going to talk about the movie prices. But there's other things to do than, drinking irresponsibly. Definitely social distance, especially since the movie theaters are coming up. Do not think y'all could get away with moving seats so you could sit close to your significant other. If y'all have a social distance seat, please keep it social distance. Let's see. I was a dine-in movie theater once when you order your bar and you get... Yeah, I mean, it's as simple as that. And see, I'm a loyal bartender. If you don't have your ID on you and it's in your movie theater, I'll shut my bar down so I could take the drink to your theater and check your ID there. If you don't have it there, I'm taking your drink back. But if you do, and you show it to me, I'll let you have it. I remember when I drank a half a can of beer at the age of... Ooh, that's a little too early. But see, that happened at home, not in public. But still, that's still a little bad. But I promote no drinking at young ages, people. Oh, congratulations. Oh, I thought you got like the Wolverine skin. Well, congratulations on beating the adamantium booty cheeks. Even though that shit hurt. Still, it happens, but that's different. That's a private thing that happened in an establishment. You had no control over that. But if it's like an open public space and, somebody saw somebody giving you at that age something to drink like that, everything would be shut down immediately. But that was in a private venue. My fam let us drink shandy beer at 7. It has, and there are beers that has only 1% alcohol. But you know, I mean, it happens. Like I said, private encounters are different than public space encounters. Did you say Adam Cheeks? What? Adam Cheeks? What? Let me stop. But yeah, congratulations on getting the Wolverine skin in Fortnite. Also, a popular Q&A question from me to you. Because I stated earlier in this, I know some of y'all came in a little late, but I'm definitely going to be pre-recording some of this. And, you know, just keeping it recorded because I might be going back to work soon. But here's the popular question, y'all. And I kind of don't like myself for asking this, but I'm going to ask it anyways. If y'all want me to keep in contact, you know, just, you know, have a good talk or Q&A, quick fire, rapid fires, or just to, you know, see how you're doing and how I'm doing. Do y'all want me to get this hurts even trying to say it. Do y'all want me to get a tour? Oh, wait, let me get some water. Okay. Let's try this again. Do you... no, I already have a Twitch. That's settled in stone right there. Do you... yeah. Ren, you had to say it. Do you want me to get a Twitter? You know, just to make it easier to keep in contact and, you know, have good talks and good times and everything. My mom with that Henny and Coke room. Yeah, some liquors do clean your sinus. Yeah, my soul left as soon as I said it. Like my whole gut is clenching even bringing that up. Like, it hurts saying it. But is that what everybody would want, just to, you know, keep up with the daily? And so if you do want to do Q&As, or if you have any questions and you want me to answer them through YouTube, I could do that for you. But yeah, do you want me to get a Twitter? Oh my god. You know what? I had a rum cake. But that's another story. I'll tell y'all about that. Yes, I do have the audacity. And it's not like I didn't have it before. I did. Oh, not like this. How y'all gonna do it on YouTube? It's a public space. Y'all can't get me. I'm a savage. Ooh, there's a no. Yes. There's a no right there. Okay. I know that rum cake is so good. You you said I'm leaving the door and a human. Peace out. And I told you guys I already had Twitter. I deleted my Twitter and said never again when I first did it. And I know y'all been asking, but I definitely said no. But I mean, push comes to shove with a lot of things. Or you know what? I could definitely make a Instagram. I could definitely make an Instagram. Shut Twitter down. Thank you, Ren, for even doing that. Shut Twitter down for me. I'll do it on Instagram. Oh, now you want to say do it. Fun fact, I already did the saga. I stepped on 12. I stepped on 12 Lego blocks. Like I said, I'm just asking. You know what? I'm gonna talk to y'all later about that because y'all just over here being messy. But you know, just leave a like, comment what you want to comment, and subscribe when you get the chance. This has been a fun time telling you about bar experiences. It kind of went on longer than I expected it. But it's not bad at the same time. I thought it was going to be a 30-minute talk. It turned into like a 45-minute talk. But yeah, thank you all for dropping by. I'm glad you got me hunting a little bit of monsters. And definitely check next Monday. It won't be live, but I'll definitely have it pre-recorded just to test it out and see how it feels. For me and for you. And it'll also give you time to, comment and everything instead of me just, ranting to you live. But again, it has been a pleasure giving you experiences and informing you to not be huge a-holes to bartenders in general, especially in the movie theater area. But I love you, Sweet Peeps. Y'all have a wonderful night. Thank you for coming. Peace out.